Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back for week 3 of the Inside Scoop. It's been a eventful week. Lots of injuries. I think almost everybody got affected in one way. But we'll start this week off with a matchup that there's some questionables, but no huge injury losses. And that's Tom and Justin, the burrow it deep in their bass and living in Allentown, which gives them both the two highest projections this week facing each other, which makes that the game of the week.
Wow. This is a big matchup.
Yeah. I think it's going to be really interesting to see these questionable players. I think the only one who's like truly questionable is Walker.
Yeah, I agree with that. I think Lamb and
I think
Kittle
Kittle
play.
and Lamb are going to play. Yeah.
Well, let's see how. We'll start with Justin. Let's see how he did without Mr. Ken Walker. He had a dub, didn't
He
score
squeaked one
too
out.
much. Yeah, but a win is a win. Probably didn't score much because Allen only had 9 points and Eagles made a poopy.
Those dirty birds.
It was a bird off. and he
Who's the dirtier bird?
Apparently it was the Falcons. They are the
I think we
dirtiest.
we got the answer.
I
But yeah, I mean, big bounce back for Amon Ra for sure.
Yeah, that
I
was
think
nice.
there were some question marks after week 1 and
11 catches.
18 targets. I think
That's nice.
I think the questions are gone.
And looking forward to pretty favorable matchups too coming in weeks 3 and 4. Just starting Amon Ra. And he had the injury scare too at the end of week 1. And he played week 2 and did even better. Ayuk
Yeah.
though. What's going on?
Slow start. He missed all the camp. But at my own
Demise?
demise
Yeah.
here, Debo missing, I think that's going to really help out Ayuk.
Yeah. Ayuk is the perfect example of a player I don't like to draft early if they miss training camp. It was my same concerns about CeeDee Lamb's holdout and Chase's holdout. Like if I'm deciding between Tyreek Hill and CeeDee Lamb, I would probably take Tyreek just for the fact he was at training camp and playing. Again, Ayuk was a keeper, and he still had really good value for Justin, but a slow start, if it's an early pick for you, is always a little scary. But I think, especially with, unfortunately, Debo going out, hopefully it's not too long for other fantasy owners out there, but Ayuk has to step up now, and hopefully he does.
Yeah, yeah, for sure. And I think even what's Justin's record? Is he 1-1 or 2-0?
He is 2-0.
He's 2-0. So that slow start from Ayuk is, if that's in the past now, he's in a really good spot.
How about Pollard? He has not had a slow start. He's come out swinging. These are
Yeah,
RB1 numbers right here.
Titans are leaning on him. It's all about those receptions too. They're,
Oh my
Levis is
God.
just tossing it to him out of the backfield.
I think he does have two pretty favorable matchups here. These defenses aren't anything crazy.
Yeah, and I think Spears is questionable too. So if he's limited at all and it's mostly Pollard, then that's even better.
Even so, all offseason, Titans coaching staff were talking about 50-50, two great running backs, and then you get to game 1 before Spears is even injured, and it's all Pollard. And now with
Yeah,
Spears injured, I think it's just going to be the Pollard show until he proves otherwise.
I,
I
I
think
think he's
Justin
more
found a
built
gem.
for it too than Spears.
Yeah, I agree. I think this was a great draft pick. This might be Justin's best draft pick, Tony Pollard, in the what round? In the sixth
It's like
round?
this. Yeah, sixth
That's a
round.
steal. That's a great pick.
Yeah, that's
Uh,
an early front runner for sure.
yeah, winning without Walker is huge. You think it's time? Well, you can't really drop Kirk. 2 catches? That's
It's
a little.
tough. It's tough. And that's the thing. I felt like Kirk in the beginning of the season, like he was gonna be like your Mr. Reliable. Like he was never gonna
Yeah,
win you a week, but he was gonna be like your solid wide receiver 2. and he's like his floor is way lower than I thought it was going to be.
Yeah, I agree with that too. I thought Kirk could have been at worst a flex play. You're getting, 8 points on a bad week, up to 12, maybe a little higher if he scores a touchdown, and it's just been meh.
Pierce will be interesting though, because
Oh,
like I
Pierce.
mean he's had two really big games, but it's like I feel like most of his points came on bigger receptions.
He's the Colts
Those
Rashid
two
Shaheed, man.
touchdowns. Yeah. Well, yeah. Was it Wish.com Rashid Shaheed?
And there's nothing wrong with that. I mean, if he scores, he scores. It's
Yeah.
risky because if he doesn't score, you might get a stinker. But as your wide receiver,
But
one, two,
even his
three, four,
yardage is pretty good. Like his targets and yardage for like a wide receiver too.
yeah,
That
definitely.
second game, 7 targets. That's super sustainable.
Yeah, the 7 targets is great to see. It'll be interesting to see how it goes when Downs comes back and if Mitchell can establish himself more. But for right now, I think Pierce is a great hold and plan the bye week and hope he pops off.
I agree.
I think let's take a look at Tom's team now here. Mr. Burr deep in their bass. Oh, I do have an update on Tom's name. He
Whoa.
said he tried a bunch of variations. Instead of the word there, he tried like my and other types too. ESPN actually blocked it all. That was the only way he could get it to work. So that is why it is what it is.
Wow.
And
I like the effort, Tom. I
I do too.
appreciate the effort into the name.
Yeah, it's a good shout. And Tom is also coming off a win. I'd say a little bit more impressive of a win than Justin had. Because if Justin played Jim last week, he doesn't win. 111 is a very solid outing.
Yeah, big win for Tom.
And he did it
I mean,
without Mike
looking at
Evans.
yeah, Evans has been. I think he's off to a slow start. Maybe those old bones are taking a little bit more time to warm up.
I think he did good last week. Yeah, he had 2 touchdowns. I don't know. Detroit
Oh, I
just shut
forgot
him
about
down.
that. Yeah.
I mean, oh, Denver is a tough matchup. Sertan is gonna stick to him, I would assume.
But well, here's the thing. Godwin's been killing it. Godwin's the only wide receiver with over 20 points in every fantasy game, and not that they're like looking at fantasy, but is Sertain gonna shadow Evans, or is he gonna be hopping back and forth depending on the formation?
I mean, you're 100% starting Evans no matter what. But because Godwin plays in the slot, I don't think Sertan is necessarily going to be able to even shadow Godwin. I think it would be very odd if he did. So I feel like it's going to primarily be Mike Evans, and not 100% of the time, but I think a majority of the time he'll be following Evans around.
I think that's a good point. Evans has that ability though, like even if he can't create separation, he'll just moss the guy. So
No, he's a big boy. Yeah, he goes up. And after Denver, though, he gets Philly, who's been passed on by everyone. Atlanta's defense is nothing special. Oh God, is Evans gonna get suspended or ejected from another Saints game for like the 4th year in a row?
as is tradition.
Hmm. Any other before we look at the bench fully? Any other shocking outliers here or weeks in general from the starters?
I think just Ramondre and Kittle both killing it. That's some good later round value. I think you got Ramondre in the fourth, if I'm
Let's
not mistaken.
yeah,
Fourth round.
that's we talked about Pollard for Justin, and it's kind of the same thing for Tom with Ramondre Stevenson. It's a later pick, not as late, but a 4th round player with plus 16 and 20 points each week. That's pretty good, really good.
Yeah, he was definitely one of my targets. I know Tanner's talked about being big on Ramondre this year, so he's
Mhm.
really coming into his own with Tom.
I will say on Dobbins, I know last week I talked about I don't think it's sustainable, and he said "fuck you" to me and did it again, but I still don't think it's sustainable.
I still also don't think it's sustainable because again, it was big chunk plays, and it
Hmm.
was also against Carolina.
And I think you
This
have
week is
Gus,
the real
right?
test. Yeah, I've Gus,
Do you
the Gus
remember around
bus.
how many carries he had?
To be honest, he was on my bench this week, and I was so disappointed from the first week. I didn't really look, but I'd assume he had around 10 or 11 carries.
I will look that up as we continue to talk about his bench players here. Well, take it away here while I check that stat for us.
Yeah, so phew, JSN, the Najigwas, what a what a pickup there. I think
Good bounce back.
everyone had questions over him, and 16 targets though that second week. And Lockett had a poor game. Like, is this the time he finally takes over from Lockett? I know Seattle's got a new offensive coordinator who wanted to get him more involved, so this is really interesting to see if he can
Mhm.
sustain this level of production.
I hope
Because
he
that,
can,
you know,
because I do like him. I like him as a player, but he's been so risky up until, or hasn't even shown anything up until week 2 of his second season in the league.
yeah, yeah,
Uh,
that 16 targets though was like it going from 2 targets to 16. Like something must have happened midweek.
what
You
if,
got some blackmail on Gino.
what if it's like this? Could you see the Seahawks offense being a mini version of the Texans offense, where there's 3 good receivers and probably 2 of them out of the 3 are going to have a good week, and you just don't know what weeks that third one will be bad.
Yeah, I mean, I hate to say it, but I'm not really like. I feel like I say it every year, and I feel like a lot of us say it every year. It's like Lockett is just kind of that kind of
Mhm.
guy, but he always puts up respectable numbers. I don't know if he'll be able to put up those numbers this year, though. I think he's. It looked like he lost a step, and I think Smith and Jigba is kind of filling that role a little bit more. He's more of a gadget guy than Lockett, who's more of like a downfield guy. But
Mhm.
I don't know. Gino might
And
like those shorter throws.
I looked up Gus's carries, and I know the answer, but I want you to guess real quick and tell me how many you think you had.
I'm gonna say 11. I'm gonna stick with 11.
It was 18. He had more.
Holy shit! Gus had 18 carries last week
Yes. And
for what,
that
like 56 yards?
I didn't look at the yardage. Hold on, I still got it here. Close, 59 yards.
Fucking Gus bus.
I think
The
Dobbins is
problem, the
just like
problem is
breaking it.
that yeah, yeah, and I mean the problem is too is so they were using Dobbins on the goal line, which is like the whole benefit of being on the Gus bus is you get those goal line carries, and Dobbins got stopped 2 or 3 times on the goal line, so like,
Wow.
but they trust him that much that they're still going to give him the ball there, so
I
we'll
want to
see
see him
where it
keep doing it.
goes.
I mean, you have to start him at this point. I think I still temper expectations versus Steelers defense and the Chiefs defense. But if he continues this, I mean, he's got another great pick to follow Ramondre as a later round running back.
I agree, and as unfortunate as it is, Tom, you drafted well.
Let's take a peeksy poo at the head to head this week. Anyone, we'll continue with Tom's. Anyone from the bench you want to pop in for a starter?
I don't know. I mean, Tom's got a pretty strong lineup. I mean, he's got at least his wide receivers are pretty strong after. Well, I mean, he's got 3 really good RBs right now. I definitely wouldn't change any of that. Um, I don't think you're going to throw JSN over Dobbins in the flex, but other than that, I don't think you want to touch Pittman right now. He's been a big boo boo on the Colts.
Yeah, you can't start Pittman. Cannot. You got to wait to see him do it. You can't. He has gotten a lot of targets.
Yeah, but
How's
look
the
at no
Bears
catches.
defense?
Like
That's true.
like that's crazy. He's missing all these. I don't know if Richardson's missing him. I don't watch the Colts, but
Yeah, Tom starters are very strong. Um, as I kind of touched on last week a little, the bench, eh, on Tom's bench. It looks better when with
eh,
Jackson Smith doing better. But I know with Stafford, Tom had mentioned to me in our interview that he was concerned. He felt for the Joe Burrow water bottle issue. Did you see that?
no. What was
Oh,
that?
so Joe Burrow was sitting on the bench during the game, and apparently he picked up the water bottle funny with his injured wrist side. And people were like, "Oh my God, he can't even pick up a water bottle. He sucks." And
Oh
Tom said
God.
he saw that, so he had Stafford. Um, don't know about Stafford still with the injuries to the receivers. There's probably better quarterbacks out there as a backup.
Yeah.
But in terms of Tom starters, yeah, I think this is Burrow's big time to shine here.
Yeah. Yeah, I think especially against Washington, like I think because the Bengals have been so slow to start the season, it'll be a lot closer than people. He should be throwing most of the time, but he
Mm-hmm.
should. I think he should rack up a ton of points.
Looking over here at Justin, I think the big difference is going to come down to Walker. If he plays, very, very scary team. If he doesn't, it's still scary, but he's losing, a guy who can get you 15 to 20 points for, I guess, Javonte Williams, who,
Yeah, who's going to get you probably 8 to 12
at best, unless he scores a
at,
touchdown,
at, at best. Yeah.
11 carries, 17 yards.
Oh,
It's concerning.
it's against Pittsburgh, but that's pretty
hmm
fucking efficient.
I like Allen for a bounce back. I really hope Walker plays. He's fun to watch. He's so good.
Yeah.
You could also have a huge game. He's the only receiver really there. Their first round pick, Pearsall, still shot. He's not playing. These lineups are pretty set. I don't see what you would really change.
Yeah, me neither.
I mean, head to
It's
head
all going to
real
come down
quick.
to that Walker injury for sure.
Yeah, I agree. Man, I could see it going either way for the first five positions here. Like, just mostly because of Burrow playing Washington. I think the defense sucks. If it was against the normal defense, I give the edge to Allen, but I could see Burrow tossing 3 touchdowns and like 250 plus yards.
Yeah. Walker and Jones. It depends on if Walker's limited or not.
hmm
I think overall, you have to give a slight edge to Tom.
I agree with that.
Very
With
slight, like the
with the Walker
slightest of
issue.
edges.
hmm I think tight end. I'm gonna say it's a wash. The top five players, but tight end, it's Kittle. I think Flowers. I'm gonna give the edge to Flowers over Dobbins though, mostly because of the Pittsburgh defense. We just saw what
Yeah.
Javonte did against them for 11 carries for 17 yards.
I mean, Flowers has been Baltimore's entire offense. It's
Yep.
been, as an Andrews owner, frustrating to watch, but he's. It's like anytime he needs a check down, anytime Lamar needs, a 5 to 10 yard gain, he's looking right at Flowers.
Yeah. So does that mean we are both picking Tom to win? Is that your official lock in?
Ah, I'm so stuck. I like Amon-Ra in the Arizona matchup because Arizona's offense is really strong and their defense is atrocious.
hmm
So that could be really high scoring. And CD's going up against Baltimore, Mike Evans possibly against Sertan. I think I'm going to go Justin.
I'm
Just
gonna
just
pick
I think their
Tom.
teams are extremely even, but just based off of the matchups and the game
hmm
situation this week.
Yeah, I'll swap. I'll be the opposite. I'm gonna pick Tom. I'm not sure about Walker, and if he doesn't play, I think it favors Tom a little bit more. And I kind of like the Bucks defense against Denver too.
Yeah, that's a really good pickup.
Sir, well, this one will definitely be one to keep an eye on. I like the name, but I'm sad that it has to be that name. Poor, oh, right guy. Poor Pooks. Tanner, he's been bitten. He's got the injury bug.
That he does.
Now, Tanner's not here with us right now. He'll be joining later, but I want to give a special message out to Tanner about his team. The injuries suck, and I want you to try and look at the bright side because it's so early in the season. Luka's a great player, and it sucks he's hurt, but because he was a keeper, try and imagine it like you lost your sixth round pick. He's not. You didn't take him as your first. It's not like you still have Tyreek Hill, who's been great. You still have Diggs, who's been great. Bowers might be. Is Bowers the tight end one on the week? Or on the he's tight end two. You got a top two tight end.
He's been killing it.
I think Kamara is the RB1. Like healthy, it puts this team over the edge. But with the injuries, it's still a competitive team. They're a strong competitive team. He dropped 120 last week. Uh, Tua, I think it hurts Tyreek Hill more than the actual team for Tanner. Tua's just an okay quarterback in fantasy. Like the stack's great, but and I think Carr will be better, and he's been playing great.
Yeah, yeah,
So
I
with
think
that,
you're right. It's all about the connection with Tyreek and how that affects Tyreek. I don't know if Skylar Thompson,
hmm
or I think.
I think that's it.
I mean, I don't think he's throwing accurate deep shots, but they also use Tyreek on a lot of like these little screen plays and
Yep.
short slant kind of plays. So I think he might become more of like a PPR guy than a
Home
deep
run
shot,
hitter.
get you all your points on a 80-yard touchdown guy.
hmm I agree. So let's go take a look here. So move on over to Tanner here. So 120. He beat every other team. He beats every team but two. The one he played and Matty's. So strong week,
But
unlucky
his
loss.
overall record is like
He's lost
20 to 2,
he went 11 and 0 and then he would have went
20 to
9 and
3.
2. Yeah, 20 to 2. He's only been beaten by two teams over the course of the season. And that 120 ooh is with 10 points combined from his Dolphins.
Yeah, and I know we talked about after that Thursday night game thinking it was over, but holy shit, if I wasn't sweating through Sunday, boys, with fucking Kamara putting down 43 points,
Yeah.
me sitting there watching that was like just constant daggers in my eyes.
Like there's
I
no
was
way
like,
he gets another touchdown.
it was insane. And I mean, look at the
It's-
first game too. Like, I think Kamara
Yeah.
might be a fantasy MVP of the season.
And what did he take him in the second? He did. Yeah, that's a great pick. At that spot, a lot of running backs to pick from. And Tanner selected potentially what looks like to be a top five running back. He had a strong performance. I mean, Fairbairn is gonna be. I think he is the number one. No, he's number two somehow. I don't know who possibly scored more points than who scored more than this. The 20 and
Might have been
17.
I don't think no, it wasn't Moody. It might have been
Still
either way,
a
it doesn't
lot.
fucking matter.
That's a lot of
Kickers suck.
points. Yeah. But he had a good week overall, but he lost the week and he lost a couple players. Well, I guess one player, but it hurts.
Yeah.
Hopefully T comes back though soon. He's been doing this without T Higgins, and I think where did he take him? Fifth? Yeah, in the fifth.
Yeah. I
I
think there's
think.
a lot to look forward to.
hmm
Like, I mean, you're getting these performances out of your late round picks. It sucks to start the season with these injuries, but like if Tanner can manage to push through the regular season and be in
Go
a playoff
500.
position by the time like the end of the season comes around when all these guys are
hmm
getting off injuries, that's a fucking juggernaut team.
Yeah, if he can go 500 until Puka and T are back in, I mean, then he can just probably wins a couple in a row after that with a full lineup, and he's good to go.
Yeah. And Tua says, I'm not retiring.
He did. He's only out
My
for,
brain
or not
can be
only.
mashed potatoes,
Yeah,
but I'm not going anywhere.
Tanner did get his boy Carr though, who has been scoring more than Tua. So I think that it's still, yeah, it sucks there's no Tua, but Carr is perfectly serviceable to get you a good amount of points.
Yeah. No, I think it's a very safe backup quarterback pickup.
So let's go take a look at Drew's team here. 79. Oh, what happened? Ooh,
I think I mean, outside of Marvin Harrison, really tough weeks. Apparently that was Kelsey's worst fantasy week since 18 or 2019.
even worse than last week. Oh, yeah. Jeez.
Yeah,
He had a carry? I guess on the goal line?
he got a yard.
Wow. Normally Drew has a really great team. This year I'm heavily concerned.
Oh boy.
I love pieces of the team, like Lamar, Bijan, and Marvin, but I really don't like anything else. And I feel like I'm being a hater. And I hope I'm proven
I
wrong.
think, yeah, I mean, I think Swift is going to be a tough one. I think Marvin Harrison is going to. He's like Kyler's guy now. Like I think they
Oh,
needed a
Marvin's
week to
great.
kind of gel.
Mm-hmm.
So I think he's going to be great, and I think he was a second round pick. Or did he come all the
Oh,
way back into the third?
no,
Yeah, he
a
was a
late,
second round.
late
Okay.
second round pick. That I mean, I still think this is a great pick for where he went. He just
Yeah,
needed some time
yeah,
to get acclimated. I have no concerns about Marvin Harrison right now.
yeah. I think Kelsey will turn it around. Lamar is gonna. I don't know. The Baltimore offensive line is so bad, but I think Lamar, Bijan, Marvin Harrison, and Kelsey are gonna win him a bunch of weeks. Pickens. I mean, I think Pickens has the talent. He's
His
just on such a
hands.
shitty team.
Oh, Pickens is great himself. Yeah, honestly, Russell Wilson's probably going to be better for Pickens in fantasy.
For
Uh,
sure.
so hopefully he takes back over when he's healthy from his calf strain, and
Yeah,
he
maybe
can
the
do some
next couple
stuff.
weeks.
I don't believe in Kelsey though. Didn't I don't think I drafted him anywhere. I was under the impression they were going to limit him in the regular season, only use him if they absolutely had to win, and then save him for the playoffs so he can come in fresh and they can make a Super Bowl run. 'Cause I think he's like 35 or 36. He's old.
I always forget how old he is. Yeah, but I think I mean I even just being like like Mahomes' red zone guy. I think the Chiefs
Mhm.
as a whole kind of look a little shaky,
And with
but
Pacheco going down, could be the Kelsey show in the red zone.
it's very true. That's very true. Or the Carson Steele show, you know.
Could be anyone. Could be P. Ryan. Could be Hunt.
Carson Steele.
Although if Kelsey doesn't turn it around, he does have Hawkinson. He's coming back hopefully in a couple weeks, and he can. Sam Darnold's look great, so he can pop him in. Let's take a look at their head-to-heads here. How's projections look? Pretty close. Drew does currently have the edge. All right. Anyone on Drew's side you're swapping around?
Uh, I don't think
Probably
so.
no, probably not. Drew's team. I got my Ferg fact here.
Oh, let me hear it.
I hate players that are too bad to start but too good to drop, and I feel like that's like most of Drew's team. Like,
Well, at least his bench. At least his bench.
yeah, his bench, mostly on his bench. I mean, it's starting to look if Watson stays the quarterback, the starter, and it doesn't go to Winston. Cooper is. I'm concerned about Cooper.
He's consistent at least.
And Jacksonville's defense is nothing special. I know the Giants don't have a good secondary, right?
No, it's atrocious.
This has to be a bounce back week for him. If he doesn't do anything this week, I think you bench him until you see something.
I agree. There's still nobody I'd really rather play over him though.
No, no, not at the moment. It's more of a going forward type of thing. It's like a make or break week for him. I mean, hopefully Odunze comes back, but like Sutton, you're never really starting. Eckler maybe a bye week fill in somehow unless something happens to Brian Robinson, you play him. But for right now, he's just chilling. Herbert you can't play, but he has Lamar, so it doesn't matter.
Yeah. Yeah, I don't think you're switching anybody out.
No, but I think Drew is stuck, and I hope I'm wrong about it. But he's stuck playing players based off the name value and not the performances they're putting up. Like, what if Amari Cooper's name was and like any average receiver? What if this
Judy.
was well, Tanner has Jerry Judy? I didn't want to say that. I say, what if like Amari Cooper was Gabe Davis? You had Gabe Davis.
Yeah,
He put up under 3 points both weeks. You're not still playing him.
right. It's a
But
good point.
it's early in the season though, so the history of these players holds more weight. But as the season goes on, we'll get a clearer picture. And I think that kind of leads us into Carr here. I mean, Carr has been on fire. Like these are insane stats, and he's barely had to play because they've been blowouts.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean he's really I think against the Cowboys is like the craziest thing. Like the Cowboys have a really good defense, and you're not expecting Derek Carr of all people to have that. I mean, he didn't even have a super great performance. They just went up so early that he was able to.
He didn't need to do anything more. He was just like, this didn't have to keep going. They were winning by so much. Same thing against Carolina. So I think Carr is a great fill-in for Tua. And imagine a screen pass to Kamara.
Trust me, I saw it last week.
That's true. Anyone you're popping in on Tanner's side here?
I don't think so.
You playing Jerry Judy?
I mean, over like I'm not touching Tyler Johnson until I see this Rams offense.
Mm-hmm.
Chase
No,
Brown is a wash. Trey Benson
no.
is no.
T. Higgins is Monday night, so you won't
I,
know.
and I'd give Higgins at least another week before I
Yeah,
before I play him too.
yeah. I think you got to start Jerry here.
Well, the same thing we talked about with Cooper for the against the Giants. It's the
It
fucking
could apply to
Giants,
Jerry.
so
Yeah,
yeah,
it
it could
very well
also
could apply to
apply.
him. I do like the Bengals defense against Washington. Uh, Cowboys defense, I'm a little concerned about. I mean, the Ravens offense hasn't been as explosive as it has been, but they're still a good team.
Yeah, I don't know about that. Probably a lot of sacks
Mhm.
with their O line, but it could go either way easily.
I think I'll go. I'll start off with the projection here first. I'm gonna go with Tanner. I think the
I
Carr
was
Kamara stack versus Philly will be nice.
yeah, I was also leaning Tanner's simply because of that stack.
Mhm. Matchups, I think this is better overall for Tanner this week, where Drew's playing. A lot of his guys have better defenses to go against.
Yeah,
So
I think there's an easier path to victory for Tanner, but again, it's a close one though. It could go either way for sure.
yeah, big week for both, 1-1. Someone's going 2-1. Someone's gonna be 1-2,
Wow.
and we'll see who it is.
Next we've got I love giving her Dak shots and eating good in the neighbor parentheses hood. Ferg versus Steve. It's also another really close matchup. We're only projected a difference of 0.3 points. Just seeing it now, that's pretty incredible.
I was at
Steve,
110 earlier. Why did I go down?
uh, I don't know.
Collusion.
They're accounting for all of Saquon's drops.
Aw.
That 5 yard reception could have been the difference.
Well, not last week, cause revenge.
Yes, revenge. A dish served lukewarm, considering you were the only person Love beat last season, I think.
No, he beat 2 people last season.
Okay. Was it you twice?
No, only played him once. Hey, when he beat
Eh,
me, I still scored like 130. It wasn't like I didn't score any points. Aw.
DJ Moore. The DJ Moore show.
Oh, I was so scared. I was having the flashbacks.
Yeah. Well, let's take a look, see how you did last week.
Yeah, what are you seeing here? Is anything sticking out right away?
I'm still seeing your matchup with Steve.
Oh, did it not go over?
Your stream cut out. Hold on.
Yeah, pull it up on your side.
I'll,
Oh,
I got you. Technical difficulties.
you Wi-Fi's.
It's that lovely hotel Wi-Fi. What kind of hotel are you staying at?
I am at a Hampton Holiday Inn. It's
Oh,
mid.
is it?
It's the
Not as
best way
bad.
to
Right? But
describe it.
the breakfast is fire though.
Oh, honestly, it's one of my favorite parts. It's free. I walk down, grab some eggs and like a sausage or something, fill up a coffee, and then I
do,
go to class.
do they have one of those waffle makers?
We do. I'm trying to be a little bit better and eat a little bit more just protein focused though. So I have not really had any carbs for breakfast or lunch. I save that for dinner.
Mm, wow, wow. Say, last day is tomorrow. You should make your own waffle. They're pretty good.
Ooh, maybe I will on the last day.
All
I'll
right,
definitely
all
try
right.
one
Let's
before I
look
leave.
at yeah. let's look at you from last week. I see really even between Mahomes and Dak. I think Mahomes is. I'm sure you and Tanner will talk about this on Lev's preview, but Mahomes has been pretty poopy.
Hmm.
But pretty good performances from Barkley and Gibbs, both getting in the mid-teens there without touchdowns, which is super important. Or did Barkley ever receive a touchdown? No, we got a 2-point rushing.
He
Okay.
didn't have any. Oh yeah, no touchdowns though. Damn, 22
Yeah, no
carries.
touchdowns. So yeah, I mean, if either of your running backs get touchdowns, you're looking at 20 plus points for either of them.
Yeah, that's
But
insane to have this without touchdowns. Semi
yeah,
rookie.
yeah. London came into his own finally. Big touchdown at the end of the game. You must have been going nuts.
Oh, I got too excited and I couldn't fall asleep after the game. I
I
needed to
was
go to
I was
bed.
just as excited. I see the Eagles lose.
Yeah, I hope it continues.
Devonta, yeah, I mean that was a big that whole game was a big game for you. You had three players playing, right? You had London, Smith, and Barkley.
Yeah, I was scared because I was down decent chunk. I think like 20 points, and if they all dud, I lose.
Yeah, I mean you got pretty big performances out of all three of them.
Yes, sir.
Love did leave an Ingram, who was out.
Well,
Not
all
that
right.
it would
He
have really made a difference.
probably not, but he was announced out at like 12:30, right before the game started.
It's true. And it's not like there was anybody on the bench to really replace him with, but it is what it is. Rashid got you a nice touchdown.
Oh yeah. I'm loving Mr. Rice.
And
He's been
yeah,
doing good.
decent performances throughout. I mean, the bench is a little scary though.
Oh yeah.
I would be a little worried with Keon Coleman.
I'm not. I'm not worried about him. Not yet. I mean, it's not good, but I'm not concerned just yet. This week will be a
Yeah, I mean,
make or break for him.
yeah, Allen had a down week last week, so I think he's
Hmm.
due for maybe a little bit of a
Now,
bounce back. But
Allen passes for 300 yards and Keon Coleman has no catches. Yeah, I'm concerned, but not with
and yeah,
how it went.
um, you got a lot of handcuffs on your roster too. So one injury away, and I think that could be a big change to your overall team.
I tried to take handcuffs that I thought would also play, like Algier. I thought Corum would also be getting the ball, but not too much. But he's a very valuable handcuff if something happens to Kyron.
Yeah, yeah. I mean,
And I got
Kyron
Brooks
hasn't looked
back
super
soon.
great either. So
I do got Brooks chilling here, so I'm hoping I can play him in a couple weeks. And if he's out longer, yeah, it's scary. Let's take a look at let's go to Steve's here.
all right, let me go to Steve's. A sub 100 win for Steve last week. Got pretty lucky playing Drew with Drew's team
79.
we just kind of talked about.
Yeah,
You know, I'll say something that's kind of hopping out to me is Jaden Daniels. He looked a lot better than I would have assumed he had way more fantasy points.
he didn't have any touchdowns. I mean, he gets one touchdown. He's at 17 if it's a pass. He's at 19 if it's a rush. So he did this without any touchdowns.
Yeah, I mean that's a pretty big change. And of course the Rashad White injury hurt, but how
Mhm.
about Malik?
He came through. 18 targets. That's nice. That's real nice. Now, Cleveland and Dallas coming up. It's a little scary. I don't think he's gonna quite do as well, but you never know. One big play and it's all it takes, and Malik can certainly do that. Uh, just keep looking along here. I was talking to Steve a little bit. We had some pretty big differences on Tank Dell. Steve was in love with Tank Dell. I am not the biggest Tank Dell guy this year because of how crowded that receiver room is, and also with Mixon there. So far, he hasn't had his week yet. He's gonna get it eventually. It's just a matter of when. But as your wide receiver too, I'm a little scared. Now we have Tanner here to we're swapping out Ryguy, pulling in Tanner.
Yep.
Someone had
He
a
tagged
dinner.
out.
Yeah. Ryguy's going off to a fancy dinner. So
Yeah.
we left off at we were talking about mine and Steve's matchup, and we were halfway through Steve's team here, and just wanted to get your input on anything you like about Steve's team, his performance last week, anything you're
Well,
nervous about.
first and foremost, I would say I'm a big fan of the team name. Um,
Eating good in the neighbor.
eating good in the neighbor box score. Um, Speaking of which, he kind of how did he do last week? Was it? It wasn't as good as this week, right? Malik Neighbors.
Last week, no, he did a bit worse. Not bad,
Yeah, but
but
he's still looking like he's going to be a pretty good receiver for Steve.
yeah,
White though, that's a little 2.8, and
he
they
got
played
hurt.
pretty good too. That's surprised. Oh, did he get hurt?
Yeah, I
Serious? What is it? Limited
uh,
in practice?
he's
Doesn't look
limited.
serious.
Yeah, so it shouldn't be too bad.
I'm not. I got to be honest. I never was, never will be a big Kincaid guy, but it's just me personally. I don't know.
He hasn't had a great start. No tight ends really have.
Yeah, I don't see really the hype around him, but guess we shall see. And he's always got a solid play with Mason until he doesn't.
I Steve just so happened to pick up Mason like days before McCaffrey was even announced out, and then bam, instant RB1 for Steve for free.
Of course, it's almost like Steve had like an inside tip or something. I may have
Dare
to do a little investigation. I think.
dare we say an inside scoop?
Hmm.
Ah, um, so yeah,
Be
let's
careful,
take a
Steve.
look here. So I play Steve this week. I'll let you take it away here, and you just kind of discuss the matchup. I don't want to give input about my own team.
What is it saying? 50%, 50%. Okay, looking pretty even on the projections. Even those don't mean much. It's still cool to look at. I see you're going with Bake God.
I am.
And
Um,
who did you drop? Who did you keep? You kept Dak, and you dropped what's his name?
Tank,
Well, I can't think of his name. No, the Lions
and
quarterback. Off.
I dropped him before the second week started. I don't know, just I was on the golf train last year, by
Cute,
not by choice.
cute little pickup with the cream hunt. By the way, I
Yeah,
thought that was cute.
yeah, just see what happens, you know.
For when he goes back to the Browns.
No, he's on the Chiefs.
Is he? Oh, that's what I meant.
Yeah,
The Chief. Yeah, his OG team. Yeah.
see what happens. You never know. If he sucks, just drop him.
But matchup wise, does look pretty even. I mean, I obviously running back gonna give you the edge. Although I do like Steve's running backs this week, if I'm being honest. Although
Chiefs are
White you
good
said's
too.
questionable, so I don't know what's up with him. But he's got options on the right. Tank Dell, he's been doing decent, I think. Right, Zach Moss.
Tank has been a little so far. This has been
Oh yeah, look at
this has been
that.
all Nico and Diggs.
Oh, that's what I heard. Nico's been like leading like the team or something like that,
Yeah,
and I
he is
never thought
absolutely
that would
killing
be
it.
the case. What
Uh, he,
about Zach Moss?
I think Moss has been doing pretty good, good enough at
Yeah,
least. Steve can just
yeah. So he
pop
could.
him in
Yeah, that would be a possible start, but I don't know. Who
against
did
Washington.
Ryguy make his pick for this team match already?
He did not. No, we'll have to
Yeah,
text
he
him
can.
about that and see who he wants.
Hmm.
Oh, breaking news!
Oh,
I,
breaking.
I
Uh-oh.
just got a sleeper notification actually about Kareem Hunt.
Oh, uh-oh.
Chiefs RB
I,
coach on Hunt. He has it. He still has it. We've just got to get him up to
wow.
speed. Ooh,
Okay. Yeah,
5 minutes
I
ago.
don't think that guy they picked up, what's his name? Not picked up, the guy that they said was going to be starting.
Oh, Carson Steele.
Yeah, I mean, him being the guy, I don't really see that happening. I mean, good
It's
on
all
him
a
if he
gamble.
does, but yeah.
Yeah, it's a full
Who
gamble
picked
between.
him up? Was that Ryan?
It was Ryguy.
Ryguy. I think I'm gonna lean you this week just because I like your running backs a lot better, but I also hate Drake London. And I know that's a little
Okay.
biased, but
He's my worst receiver, so. Oh,
who do you
starting
have?
receiver. Yeah. Don't want to really.
Because Keon hasn't been really doing anything, right?
I'm not concerned about him yet, but I might be if he doesn't start turning it around.
Who is that? You're saying?
Keon Coleman. He didn't have any catches
Oh,
last week, but also Josh Allen didn't throw the ball. It was a weird game. But yeah, it's going to be close. Steve always has a good team.
I do think it's going to be a really, really close one.
For the couple,
he's also got Jaden Daniels that's been playing pretty good too. So.
He has, yeah. I hope since his defense can contain him just a little bit. And I'll have to watch him Monday night, potentially drop 30 points and win Steve the week. I won't be happy.
You got any Thursday night ones going? No,
It's Jets and Patriots, so not many players are going to be in.
That's true.
So you got me, and we'll find out what Ryguy picks then.
Breaking, Ryguy just texted in just now.
Mm-hmm.
Breaking news, he also picked you.
Down on out. All right, that's 2-0. Well, we'll see if Steve can pull up.
All right, Steve.
Make you guys look like sillies.
So we got I Love to Waddle and more Grams. Cute names. Look at Lev 0-2 and Bub 0-2. Okay, so we got a real not for nothing. This should be Ryguy's game of the week, but you know,
It's a big battle.
Bub rolling with Caleb Williams. That's a bold move. Projections looking kind of even, right? 53-47, not bad.
100 to 96.
Yeah. But you said what? Nico's been playing really good, right? So
Yeah, Nico's been killing it. Actually, let's start off with Bub here. Where's his team from last week?
There he is.
Bub lost.
In an honorable manner, though, what was the score? He wasn't winning. I mean,
102 is not bad, but it could have been better if he had not Caleb or Schultz, I guess.
Yeah, Caleb ain't it. I don't know. Rob, I have Trevor Lawrence taking up valuable shelf space if you're interested.
Lowest bench score? 8.1. Like all of his players were either hurt or didn't score.
Yeah, what's up with Addison? He looked healthy.
He definitely played in the game. He got hurt at some point during it, but he played a decent portion. Oh wait, wait, never mind. Maybe not. He didn't play last week. He got hurt in week 1, not week 2. Whoopsie.
Yeah, I mean, but honestly, Bub wasn't beating Matti. I think only one other
not
team
with
beaten
Matty's score. Dude, Matti balled out. We'll talk about him later, but yeah, Bub. I mean, if there's a week to lose when you're kind of like your key guys suck, it's this week.
Yeah, I mean, Waddle didn't do anything. I guess he didn't love to waddle this week, Bub.
He waddled to an L.
The Dalton Schultz experiment might not be it anymore.
No, that was because Ferguson was hurt, though. I think he might play this week. So, I mean, it's still like a meh tight end, but it's certainly better than whatever Schultz is. And like, a lot of his team did good. It was just a couple guys that should have done that should have done good. Didn't. Caleb, Waddle, Garrett Wilson. Those were his letdowns.
Yep. His kicker got him 15 though.
Yeah, and Steelers defense was a good grab versus Denver, but it sucks. So Garrett Wilson only got 8 points, and the Titans still lost. Bub got like the worst of both. I don't know. It might be time. Might be time to move. I mean, I'm really
time to move on from who?
A lot of players. Curtis Samuel, Tyrone Tracy Jr. I'm assuming when we see his roster again, we'll see that Schultz isn't on it anymore.
Yeah.
He has Jordan Love, so I guess it's Caleb until then.
Wait, why doesn't he have anyone on his IR spot?
Because he's lazy. That's really the only. That's it. It's an explanation. He has like 3 guys he could put there.
Bob.
Let's go see Lev here. We got some more grams. More grams of what?
Was another rough week though.
Yeah, it didn't start well. So, Ryguy mentioned this a bit when he was talking about my team earlier. Ingram had 0 and he was hurt, but he got announced out at like 12:30, maybe 30 minutes before he played. So I don't
Hmm.
fault Lev if he was, in the middle of doctoring, that he couldn't swap him.
I think this takes precedent over doctoring, but
Yeah.
maybe
Screw
that's just
saving
me.
people's lives. Still, you can save another person's life, but you only get 1 week
It
to
could,
start or swap out
it
Evan
could wait.
Ingram.
It could wait a day or two, right? Why not?
Exactly. Oh, Ingram or Grams. Heh, now I get it. Uh, Again, he has a lot of players he could drop to. A lot of guys that are kind of underwhelming on the bench, but starting lineup, I think it's still good. He has good
You
players.
still feel the same about Najee? About what you're gonna get from him?
As your
7 to 10
RB2,
points a game.
it's whatever. He's not winning you weeks, and if he does, you got lucky, or not lucky, but you take that one good week.
Yeah.
Like, I mean, he has Mahomes and Taylor, Adams. Moore was a good keeper value. It's just they're not performing right now. Like everyone's kind of on their floors.
The cute little pickup of the Cincinnati
Oh
rookie. I
yeah.
know he had you shitting a little bit. Didn't he
I
have like
was
two
not
touchdowns
happy
or
when
something?
2 catches for 2 touchdowns. I was not pleased. I was like, all right,
That was
whatever.
kind
You
of like
got
early
1.
on too, right?
Yeah, you got 1. Fine. You got the second one. I was like, really? Like this random guy has 2 catches and 2 touchdowns?
11 new.
He did. And when he gets Chubb back too, I think his team's gonna be even better. He could really be going Mahomes, Taylor, Chubb, and then flex
You
Najee or someone else.
do you think Hopkins just isn't it anymore, or do you think it's just because it's the Titans?
Both. I think Hopkins is 31 or something. So he's getting up there in age, and he also had an injury
Two
in
two
training camp.
targets and 1 target. He's had 3 targets in 2 games. It's
Yeah,
crazy.
it's not great. Let's take a peek here, and we'll see their matchup. Anyone we'll stick with Lev first. Lev's bench that you would put in the starting lineup.
You said Ingram's out, right? So
I don't know if maybe he's
I mean,
questionable. I don't
maybe
know.
maybe him over Chiseki, I would say. Um, I see he's rolling with the rookie again.
Oh yeah.
I guess why not, right? The only other option you really have is Khalil Herbert, and I don't really like anything about him. So
Nah. And I mean, Washington kind of sucks on defense as well. Hence why the
yeah,
Giants put up points.
I'm looking over at Buff's bench. I see an empty IR spot, and also, um, no, I don't really see Curtis Samuel. Has he done anything?
No, I don't believe so.
Oh yeah, that was the one you were saying. I think was a drop, right?
Yeah, what is this?
Yeah.
Why are you holding this? There's so many better players on the waiver wire.
He knows something.
I don't think he does. Uh,
Is this like a classic? Like, is this how all Bub's teams look?
oh,
Like, it just
100%.
has like,
Not even close. That's just every team.
hey Bub, I bet if we won FIFA packs every week, you'd be more invested.
I
But
don't know about the Waddle thing though. Yeah, there's no
oh, he's
Tua, but
wait, he's benching him.
I still
Yeah,
would
no,
probably play
I would
Waddle over Addison.
definitely play Waddle.
Yeah, that's a take, all right.
I mean, Addison, Minnesota's been doing good, and Addison really hasn't been doing anything with them. So like,
Nah, not at
no,
all.
I don't even think
I will say I wasn't a big Nico guy coming into the year.
same.
I was just concerned about
I thought you liked
mostly.
him last year.
Oh, last year I loved him. I mean, I love him as a talent, But in fantasy, I was concerned with
Just
Diggs,
with all
Mixon,
the
and Tank.
mouths to feed. Yep.
Mm-hmm. But
It
I think
seems like with them, it's gonna be like Russian roulette. Like one game it's gonna be
exactly.
Diggs, one game it's gonna be Collins. It's just whoever's getting open that game.
Mm-hmm. I agree.
So with that said, I would say that'd probably be my only change for Bub. Um, I mean honestly, I I think Caleb Williams might even be a drop, but if he wants to roll with him, I feel like there's better quarterbacks on the waiver. But it's just me.
There's 100% better quarterbacks that he could play at least over Caleb.
Yeah, because Caleb, I don't know, he doesn't look at least fantasy good this year.
Last year, Bub had like 4 quarterbacks on his team for some reason, and maybe he should just take an early quarterback so he doesn't have to deal with this anymore.
Did you see that cute little CJ Stroud was trying to like give him some inspirational words, and then he was
Was
like,
he?
I don't know what. Yeah, he's like, just keep your head up. You're gonna go far in this league. And then Caleb was like, I don't know why he's like telling me that shit. Like he's not like
What a
my
dick.
big brother or something. Yeah,
What kind of
but
response is that, Caleb?
at least that's what I saw.
Oof,
But
Jacobs is questionable. That's not good.
you know what? I think I'm gonna go with. I'm gonna agree with Ryguy this week, and I'm gonna take the upset with Lev to improve to 1-2,
I was also gonna pick Lev.
and and then Bub falls to 0-3,
Yeah, I could see it. Adams against
especially with Waddle
Carolina.
there on
Oh,
the bench.
yeah, I don't like that at all.
It'd be a classic like Waddle's on the bench and he puts up like 30, and we're like, well, Rob, that's your own stupid fault for
You can still
benching Waddle.
Waddle in any play can take a short pass to the house. He's not
Yep,
there just for like deep bombs.
and if Hill's getting doubled, that just means Waddle's gonna be open. So.
Exactly. I think the receivers, they're not going to be like the superstars they were, but they're still going to be fine starts overall for fantasy.
And Bob, just to be clear, we're not trying to persuade you into it. It's just you should probably do it.
Go with your gut. That's about it. So we got what, all 3 for Lev this week? We're
Yep,
sweeping. All right.
we're going against ESPN's projections.
Birds and Ryguy. I don't think Birds is really gonna weather the storm right now. This is I think Bird's injury luck is only ahead of you, Tanner, right now. This is rough. Brown,
Yeah,
Cup, and Pacheco. Uh, but for Bird's bright side, we've seen him pull off playoff runs with
we
injuries to
have.
key guys.
And for two bottom feeder teams, this should be a nice showdown.
I don't think Raguy's going to take too kindly to that.
Sorry, Rock. That was
So
just a
what's
little.
going on
That
with
was
like
a little funny, but
what's happening with Bird keeps saying like you don't pick him or something like that? Is that what's happening to win
apparently I'd never pick Bird, so
ever?
I guess apparently I don't know. Maybe I'll pick him this week. We'll see what happens. I feel like if I didn't pick Ryguy, you could say I never pick him either. So I feel like I just
Well,
can't win. But
let's see how they did last week here.
yeah,
We got Birds here. Down week, but it's kind of expected when he couldn't play AJ Brown and Cup got hurt halfway through the game.
damn, 86.
Oh, brother, this guy
Oh,
stinks!
well, Birds is not gonna like that, Tanner.
That was a Ryguy. He phoned that one in.
What? He's actually on the call with us. He's just not
Yeah,
talking.
he is. That's what it is.
He's
He
our
can't.
soundboard guy.
He's actually he's at date night with Robin, but he's just listening. He's not talking.
Our
So
guy doing the SpongeBob or the Squidward meme from SpongeBob. He sees you and I in here.
where were we? Where were we?
I mean, Bird has depth, and this is why I like depth. He can still field a competitive team with losing these guys.
Yeah, I would concur.
Stroud, fine. Kyron, fine. Worthy, boomer bust, but hopefully with Pacheco out, maybe Worthy gets some more looks.
Yeah, and what you figure, he's got the cover with Pacheco with Singletary, like you said, and then
Exactly. And I mean, if it's the
Although even
Commanders.
Robinson, then you could use a different flex because
Yeah,
Robinson did pretty good last week. Right?
I like Robinson. I wanted him. I'm sad, but I'm
He's
also
just
happy
like
that was right.
consistent, you know. I feel like he's never going to get you like a 30-point game, but he's always going to get you like 12 to like
Yeah,
16,
and
something
for
like
how
that. You know,
late Bird took him, I think it was what, the 7th round. Oh my, that was a great guess. 7th round.
80, 87.
That's like what he's getting from Brian Robinson for where he took him is really great.
Yeah.
We'll see if he can weather the storm going forward here. Are you concerned with Laporta? Hee.
Well, I don't know. I haven't heard any Laporte on the storm, so but
Remember, that guy's savage with the sound bites right now.
he's he's just dialing them all in. Easy, right guy, eat your dinner, relax. We got this
Yeah,
one.
calm down.
Um, I don't know. Like you said, all the tight ends have been doing pretty bad, so I wouldn't be
have.
too concerned yet.
Yeah, and I think Stroud's fine. You know, he's got great receivers to throw the ball to, and if he's only scoring, I mean, every quarterback seems to be down 2 right now.
Except
14,
Gardner
18.
Minshew. For some reason. I saw
Gardner's doing
something that
good.
he's like one of the only quarterbacks that has 2 back-to-back 300-yard games, and he's got like
Yeah.
the best completion percentage. But it doesn't seem like it because it doesn't look like he's doing good. That's what's weird.
Yeah, the Raiders just beat the Ravens, though. I mean, that's a great win.
I guess.
Maybe it helps Bird start Jacoby Myers. Maybe I don't know.
Yeah, he hasn't been doing too much the start of the year.
It's been the Adams Bowers show.
Yeah, that's
Although,
right. Now that Bowers is there, he's taking half of Myers' targets.
yeah, Bowers is I think the one tight end that's doing great.
He is. I would know. Have
Oh,
him
I think Bird does better than
quite a
86
few
this
leagues.
week. Yeah, I like
Yeah, I would
Bowers.
say so. But he's also wait, so Cup and then Myers. Yeah, I guess we'll get to that when we get to the matchup
Yeah.
thing.
Well, here's Ryguy. He was our highest scorer last week. He beat out Matti by 3 points. Oh,
Fun game.
there's a fun fact waiting for you, Tanner, in your section. I'll let you come
Right.
across that
My
when we get.
section.
Yeah, when Ryguy and I talked about your team.
Oh, is it fun or is it fun for you guys?
I think it's fun for you too. It's a good stat. I like the stat.
Okay. Okay.
But yeah, Ryguy had a great week, the highest scoring. Um, I think A-Chain might be benefiting the most from Tua's injury. And I know it's kind of sour because you should have had your Dolphins against Ryguy being the big booms on the week. And instead,
Yeah.
they were the dooms.
Literally everything just went to Devon.
Yeah. So I think A-Chain will be fine. But Ryguy wasn't without injury of his own. Debo, surprise injury. He played the whole game. And then
Yeah,
just
I heard,
bam.
and then it's what 2 to 3 weeks? I'm thinking,
Yeah,
something like
I
that.
forgot what is it exactly?
One.
Oh, no, that's Kittle hamstring. Where is Debo's injury? What
Man, the
was it?
49ers are just riddled with injuries right now. Damn.
Yeah,
How long is Kittle out for?
I think Kittle's is questionable. I think he's gonna play.
Oh, so it wasn't that serious because I saw he got carted off. I was like, there goes Tom
Oh,
season.
that was for an IV. He was feeling a little dehydrated, I guess.
Like maybe he had a poop. It was one of those.
But again, Ryguy has the depth too for injuries. DK, Gus, Brian Thomas. Hi, Abby.
Yes, that was Abby saying hello.
Hello, Abby. Even Ford. I mean, Ryguy's got a pretty good team.
Yeah, I don't think
And
he's too concerned about much.
he'll
Although I heard
manage
something
to go through.
about Jerome Ford losing a lot of carries,
I did
right?
see that
Whoever
too.
their backup is.
Deontay or
Yeah,
Deontay or whatever it is. Foreman.
Donta.
No, that's not what
Donta.
it is.
Donta.
Uh, but I mean,
Wait, didn't we say before this game with DK on the bench, you were like, watch, he's gonna put up like almost 30 points because you have
he
him on the
almost
bench.
did.
I feel like we said that. Damn, if he would have had him in there too with that, I mean, his score would have been like. Imagine he had him over Chase, which I know he wouldn't, but
At least he won for Ryguy's sake. At least he won, like as making
yeah,
that bad decision.
yeah.
But Ford, I'm a little iffy on because if Chubb comes back, gets eased in, and then there's also Foreman. It could just be a three-way committee.
Yeah.
Well, see their head-to-head here. How the projections look. Ryguys got about an 8-point lead, decent percentage. Any changes here?
Yeah, I would change Bird's injuries, and I would make AJ Brown, Cup, and Pacheco healthy.
I think everyone in the fantasy community would like that.
But as far as personnel swaps, how's Gus Bus been doing?
I think he should play Worthy. I think Bird needs a boom to try and beat Ryguy this week.
Over Khalil? Yeah, maybe. You saying over Khalil?
It's over one of the receivers. I don't know which
or
one.
over Robinson. Yeah, he's got weak receivers this week.
I wonder why.
Yeah, that's rough.
Well, I'm sorry, Bird. It really does suck, though. It's unfortunate. I would be miserable.
We do all, but I agree. I would probably put Worthy in over one of those two.
I feel
just
like
because it's like you said, that boom.
Yeah, it was 2 seasons ago. It was actually our first year doing this. I had like terrible injury luck and I missed the playoffs. And just talking about it and like knowing everyone was like, "Oh yeah, it sucks, yada yada," it made me feel better. So I hope this makes you feel a little bit better that we know your team is good and it just sucks that you got hit with the injuries. And if you can find a way to the playoffs, you're gonna be good.
I'm also right there with you. Bird. Lost a lot on my team.
You sure? I don't know if you're going to be able to pick Bird. You might. I think Ryguy's team just a little bit more healthy. He's only missing Debo compared to Bird's 3 players. I think it's got to be Ryguy.
I never said I was going to pick Bird.
There'll be a week you have to eventually.
Yeah. Well, you know what? Looking at the matchups, I like some of what I'm seeing. I like the surprise of an upset. Ryguy's got to lose a game eventually, right? Got to happen. He's not going to go undefeated the whole season.
He hasn't lost since he's been on like a 6-game win streak dating back to the playoffs last year.
It's got to end, and maybe this could be the way to do it. I don't know. So having said that,
Ford's down.
I do see Ford's down. The Ford broke down, Ryguy. Classic Ford. So yeah, having said that, I think I'm gonna go with the surprise pick, and I was just joking about everything I said. Ryguy, boom.
Yeah, I think it's got to be Ryguy. I mean, healthy, I would probably pick Bird this week.
Yeah, if he had both, I don't know if I would pick it 100%, but if he had Debo and what's his name back in there,
Chaco, Cup, and AJ Brown,
that would look like
it's
a
a
lot better
strong
of a
lineup.
matchup.
Oh my god, that is a strong team. These are 2 powerhouse teams in my opinion, at full health.
Yeah.
But I'm also going to pick Ryguy.
Sorry about that little joke about the bottom feeders, boys.
All right, yeah, so 2 for Ryguy, and Ryguy also picks Ryguy, he said. So that is...
He did pick himself this week.
That is 3 Ryguys, but I wouldn't mind to see a little Bird upset. Just give him something to feel good about after a bad, unlucky week last week,
You hear that, Bird? We're rooting for you. But just not to win. All right, we got the McNuggets and the white wine Chardonnay. Go for a little white wine
still.
Chardonnay.
Actually, I like both these names.
Yeah. But he's got, three McNuggets on his team or mix?
He does. Well, maybe not start. Oh, he still has 2 starting, and then the best McNugget though. That sucks.
Yeah. Unlike Bub, I see he's utilizing his IR spot, which is cool.
Jim is joining the first overall McCaffrey injury pick with Bub and myself. The last couple times McCaffrey was hurt for the season.
You guys had him?
Yeah, it went me. Then next season Bub. A couple of years healthy, and now it's Jim's turn.
Yeah, he was nice and healthy for me.
When he's healthy, he's best fantasy player in the league. We'll do. Let's peek on what's happening. Jim's team here. Took an L. Probably because he didn't get McCaffrey.
Yeah. That's crazy because we even said at the beginning, we were like, Jim has probably the strongest running backs, and now without McCaffrey, it's like he's got Breece Hall, and then it's just a shot in the dark, pretty much.
I do like the Allen handcuff. I think once McCaffrey went out, he's like, if Hall goes down, he's just totally screwed. So Grabbing
Yeah,
Allen, I think, is really
smart
nice.
move.
His team, I mean, he had 93 with 2 players, or even including Terry, 3 players combined for under 15 points, and he had 93. There was potential for a much bigger week. It just didn't happen.
Do you get concerned about Richardson at all?
I
I heard when
have
he
not.
plays a good defense, he's not good.
Yeah, I haven't been a Richardson guy, at least in the draft. I thought he was going too high for the risk because he's only played a game and a half in the league. And
Hmm.
if you look at Richardson, who barely played any games in college, and then only 1 or 2 NFL games, compared to Jaden Daniels, who played like triple the games Richardson has in college, they're almost the same type of player, but Jaden Daniels is going 4 to 5 rounds later.
That's crazy.
So I was just like, Richardson was fine if you went in maybe round 7 or 8, but not in round 4 to 5. We also saw what he could do though, because he put up 26
Oh, he
points week
did.
1.
Yeah. Last year I had him. He was a beast until he got hurt.
Yeah, so I think he's fine to start. I was just a little scared of him.
For rightfully so. Any of those running quarterbacks, you know how it goes.
Yeah, 1 injury because they don't learn how to slide.
One bad tackle is all it takes. Um, Jameis Williams or whatever, he's been playing decent, so that's
Yeah,
good for
this
him.
is a great pick here. Look at this, 21-11.
Because he was
Walk-off
horrible
hasn't.
last year.
Yeah, I think that ACL injury was worse than we thought. Because he missed all of his rookie year, played a little bit last year. Or wait, is this his second year or third year in the league? I don't even know. I don't
Second,
remember.
pretty sure.
But yeah, anyway, it's a good pickup. I think it's great. Although I don't like Terry, and I don't like Olave.
I don't like Terry. I do like Olave. I don't know. It seems like the Saints spread the ball around too much to kind of
Mm-hmm.
like Olave in that sense.
Yeah, it's like the scheme and the fact that Olave is a great receiver, but he's not that elite receiver that demands targets, kind of like Adams, Lamb, and
Yeah.
Jefferson.
Or like your
And
boy Michael Thomas.
he did demand targets. I'll give him that. Like, Olave is great. It's just not that next level. And with the offense and how it's run, he might not be utilized some weeks.
Yeah.
I mean, maybe Jim gets Raheem Mostert back soon. Hall Mostert was RB2 last year, so maybe he bounces back a little bit and they start using more running backs and more short passes, more short runs, or just any runs.
Yeah.
Like it's 0-2, but there's still hope.
Yeah. Because once you get McCaffrey back, it's a whole different ball.
Oh yeah, hopefully it's after just a couple weeks, I guess. Well, whenever he comes back from IR. And Matty's team. Oof. What
Yeah,
you see in
Matty's team
here?
certainly did it.
I think this was the Thursday night game, and Matty got a nice 28 points going into the weekend, and he never looked back.
And Bob never looked forward. It was just over.
What was over before the draft? He was already checked out.
But I think, yeah, Matty's gonna be more than all right. We can all see that with his team. Charbonnet's been. Remember I told you to draft Charbonnet, and you're like, I don't want him.
Well, I didn't because I didn't have Walker. He's only good because Walker's out.
Walker's always out.
It's a fair point. But yeah, Matty's team is good, and he didn't even draft it. He he had all the rankings set, and this team kind of like fell into place based off how he ranked them. So imagine how much better it could have been if he was even at the draft.
You better not give Tom ideas because he might start drafting like that.
I won't miss a draft. Come on. Although if we keep getting
Well,
on him about the whole Dorito thing,
I
maybe
was just gonna say if he doesn't start bringing Doritos, he's not gonna be invited to the drafts going forward.
yeah, Tommy Doritos, he's gonna show up with like 10 bags just to prove a point next year. Like like one of every flavor in like a party size bag he'll bring.
Tom, I like those barbecue ones. Those are pretty good.
Yeah, Matty's team's good. I think it's gonna be a tough one for Rob here. Or not Rob, sorry, for Jim here. I mean, he's
Yeah, it's
110.
projection is pretty even, but it's going to be a tough one for sure. Just
Although,
look at that running back matchup though.
but look at what if Mixon and Jefferson don't play? They did get hurt last week. Those are some like under the radar injuries. I feel like.
That is, I mean, worst case he's got Zamir. That's still a starting running back he could throw in there.
Yeah, and against the Panthers.
Yeah, and he's got Charbonnet on the bench, so he'll be fine with running backs.
That is a very good point. Yeah, this is a good team with a lot of depth. Anything on Jim's side? Would you start anyone down here?
Did see Wandale had a touchdown last week, but I probably wouldn't start him.
Doesn't he have a lot of catches the week before? No. Oh, it was targets.
12 targets, damn. Although that could just be Jones throwing the ball up in the air and they say he was the closest receiver.
Yeah, that's a very good point. Would you
No.
consider starting? It's an ugly start. Deontay Johnson.
Don't say I was just gonna say don't say Deontay Johnson.
But
the answer is no.
But you know Bryce Young is benched.
I hate Deontay. I don't know. I tried the Deontay experiment like 2 different times, and every single time it's been miserable. So I'm extremely biased.
It's a ballsy call, but I could also see it over Terry. Like, probably not doing it over
Maybe just
Olave
because
or
Terry
Williams.
hasn't been doing anything. Has Terry
No.
even had double digits yet? No, right?
Well, in 2 games combined, he has it.
Yeah.
And
So maybe that, but
mm,
I feel like Jim's a big Terry the guy though. I don't think he's gonna sit his boy.
I don't even consider. I mean, you move Williams in to Terry's spot, and then you could always play Mostert if he's healthy and going. Same with Tajay if he's healthy and playing. I think if you take anyone out, it's Terry.
Yeah.
Although, what is up with Chuba here? What's going on with him? I had 10 carries. Okay.
I'm not a Chuba guy. Again, did
I
the Chuba experiment, not fun.
Yeah, Chuba's just there when you're desperate for getting a running back that needs a couple touches or some volume.
Yep.
And with I think all the shitting on Jim's team we might have just done, I'm actually gonna pick Jim to win. I think he's gonna upset Matti because I don't think Mixon plays, and Billy Jefferson plays, but he's gonna be limited, and I think that's gonna hurt Matty's team a bit. Where Richardson I think pops off.
Well, I'll say this: I think Mixon is gonna play just because I have him in another league. But having said that, I do like the idea of an upset this week. Plus, Matty's not even gonna listen, so even if we picked him, he wouldn't know. And
Who's Ryguy taking?
well, that's the thing. So you and I picking Jim. Ryguy says 100%, no doubt, Matty this week. That's his lock of the week.
Ryguys, lock of the week against his pal.